Good morning again. If I could just request one of our Zoom panelists provide audio confirmation that you can hear me via our virtual platform. Evelinda, can you hear me?
Hi, PJ. Yes, I can hear you.
So I can see that you are talking, but I can't hear you. Let me go check the audio on our boardroom computer. I apologize. Hi again, Evelinda. If you would kindly confirm that you can hear me, and we will attempt to establish audio connection on your end.
Hi, PJ. I'm here. Can you hear me?
So we cannot hear you. I cannot hear you, Evelinda, and I apologize for that. Once again, I see a number of new attendees in our Zoom virtual platform. If there's anyone who wishes to offer commentary or public commentary or commentary on any of our items on our agenda this morning, if you'd kindly press *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute. I can record your name for the record. And if anyone has joined us in our hearing room in person this morning, there are speaker cards in the back of the room on the table. If you would kindly fill one of those out for each item you wish to offer commentary on and bring it to me, I can record your name for the record. Thank you. I can see the audio symbol providing input from Evelinda, but her feed is not coming through. I don't either. We're experiencing some audio issues. No, that's never, I don't hook that up. No. I apologize. We're experiencing some technical issues on the audio input for our panelists and our attendees. So I apologize. We're going to continue to try to troubleshoot this issue. Just stand by, please. Thank you. Good morning, Evelinda. If you would kindly unmute and provide audio input on our end. I think you can hear me, but we've been having some issues hearing you.
I am talking and I can't hear you.
So I can see that Evelinda is talking. She's providing audio input, but we're not picking it up.
Yeah, it sounds like a volume issue or something like that. Try it again. Evelinda?
Evelinda,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's very faint. Can you keep talking, please? I'm sorry.
Evie?
Probably got
Okay,
she may-
Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, Evelinda, would you keep talking, please?
Hi.
Hi. Can you just keep A, B, C, D, E? Can you?
Okay. A, C.
It's just not picking it up. I can hear you, but it's very faint, and I'm not picking you up in the boardroom. So I apologize for that.
Oh, okay. But I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Evelinda. Once again, if there are any attendees on our Zoom platform who wish to offer commentary or on public commentary or commentary on any of our items this morning, if you'd please press star 9 to raise your hand and star 6 to unmute. I can record your name for the record. Also, if there's anyone joining us in the hearing room this morning, there are speaker cards in the back of the room on the table. If you'd please fill one of those out and provide it to me for the record. Ms. Blackstone. Ms. Blackstone, I see your hand raised. If you would please
I was
unmute.
just going to let you know that I was able to hear Evelinda just fine.
I'm sorry, would you please repeat, Ms. Blackstone?
I can hear her.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Blackstone. I appreciate that.
But I don't know which one of us you want to talk.
Oh, I can hear you, but it's not coming through in the hearing room. So we are experiencing some audio issues, but I appreciate you confirming.
so.
Thank you. All right, and the time now is 10:11, and I have no speaker cards. We are going to go ahead and go into record mode.
Yes.
All right, very good. And we are in record mode.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the regular scheduled meeting for the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. TJ Knight?
Yes, good morning, Madam President Garcia. TJ Knight, Assistant Executive Officer taking role in establishing quorum. President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, and President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corsand are present. We do have a quorum. We are also joined by City Attorney Representative Mr. Ted Jordan. Once again, I'm Assistant Executive Officer TJ Knight. President Garcia, we have no speaker cards under public comment, no neighborhood council commentary, and no speaker cards under any of our items this morning.
Great, thank you very much. Given that there are no public comments now officially closed. Moving on to the first item on today's business, which is the approval of the minutes of Friday, April 14, 2023. Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward and forthwith?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas to approve the minutes of Friday, April 14th.
Very good, and we'll take a roll call vote on this item, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. And Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved.
Thank you very much. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our chambers. And it's such a special day today that we are officially celebrating for, I believe, would be the third year now, the Arab American Heritage Month. And so with that, welcome everybody that's visiting us today. It's such a special day, and I know everybody's full of energy, so why don't we just give a first clap, because it's that time anyway. So thank you, everyone. In honor of Arab Heritage Month, 4 consul generals and an attached from local consulates of Arab countries are joining us today here at Public Works. We are very excited to have you all here, and I would love to see if any of our consulates, especially our consulate Ahmed Shaheen, Consul General of Egypt, who couldn't be with us today, and our Honorable Asa Al-Lakabi, Consul General of United Arab Emirates, and I hope I'm saying that right, is not here with us today, but we do have our Honorable Sahwan Radhan, Consul General of Iraq, and we also have Mr. Honorable Mansour Al-Sultan, Consul General of Qatar. If any of my consulates want to come up and share a few words with the meaning of celebrating Arab Heritage Month here within the city of LA, we feel very blessed and treasured that not only are you visiting us, but that we have very excellent employees that you will hear from today that work and really make the city better. So Assad, do you want to bring up one of our honorable consulates?
Good morning, Mrs. President. Good morning, commissioners, bureau's representatives, and colleagues. I will start with the Consul General of Egypt, who just walked in, Mr. Shaheen.
Okay, good.
I hate to put you on the spot, but he just arrived. Also, I would like to recognize His Excellency Salwan Khudair from Iraq, and the gentleman from Qatar. I just think he walked out. Mr. Shaheen, please. Huh? Yeah, just left.
Oh, we were trying to get them before they leave. Welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here.
Good morning. Good morning, President. All honorable and distinguished members of the board. Thank you very much for your invitation. I've been here for 4 years, but this is my first time to attend such an important meeting for the Arab community. Speaking about Egypt, we have a big Egyptian community in California and Los Angeles, and I'm very happy to report to you that they are very much happy with their life, and they are very much integrated into the American community and active members, and they feel that their contribution to the American community is very important, and I wish that this event would be on your regular agenda every year. It means so much to us. I've attended also last month the Black History Month, and this is another event that definitely shows how Los Angeles and City Hall has its very close attention and contact to different communities. And thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. And on behalf of the Arab Americans in Los Angeles, Southern California, and United States, I thank you all for this recognition. It's been great 3 years of celebrations. Also, a special shout to our Commissioner Vahed for organizing all these events to recognize the different cultures, the diversity we have, and that's what makes our Los Angeles unique. The Arab heritage is being recognized at this time by 26 states, and in LA it's almost 17 cities. The last add-on was the city of Laverne 3 weeks ago, and we continue. And special thanks, of course, goes to Adil Haji Khalil, who started this 3 years ago, and hopefully my colleagues and I can remain in that. We work very hard in the city and we contribute, and it's an honor always to be among our colleagues in the civil servant service. With that, I leave the floor to you, Madam.
Thank you, Assad. And actually, Assad, we want to thank you for your leadership on making sure that Arab Month is really highlighted within our bureau, within our public works. We have 6,000 employees under public works, and all from different backgrounds, diversity. I mean, everything you can think of is under 6,000, and Arab is just as prominent as any other culture here. So we are more than happy and honored to be able to celebrate, and we're very honored on behalf of the board and really on behalf of Public Works to have consulates here recognize the work that Arab Americans are doing for the city. So thank you, Assad, for you yourself for leading this. And I know that Commissioner Corson also led the way. And this started, like Assad said, 3 years ago with Adel Hajkali, who reached out to actually Vice President Villegas and myself and said, let's celebrate Arab Month. And we had not done that before. So we adopted it, and now we have woven it into our yearly celebrations, and we will continue to celebrate Arab Month, this time around, and even after we're all gone from here, because Arab community continues to grow within our public works community. So thank you so much, Assad. You have been a great leader to us on this realm, and we thank you for your time. So Assad, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
We are here today to celebrate Arab Heritage Month, and the way we celebrate a lot of the diversity months throughout the whole year. Like I think our consulate from Egypt just said that we celebrated Black History Month. We also celebrated Filipino Month, and I mean, actually, we just did it, and we're going to. There's many months that we celebrate, and during those celebrations, we highlight individuals that have done really exemplary work, individuals who have outdone themselves and who contribute to the mechanism and the operations of the city in a positive and excellent way. So the folks that have been identified to receive the Arab Heritage Month Exemplary Award are really folks that have been intentional about their work, and we really do appreciate them. And so with that, I want to pass the mic over to Commissioner Corson so he can lead us on our Arab American Heritage Month celebration and presentation of honorees.
Thank you, President Garcia. I want to also acknowledge Assad for today. He also was able to organize in the back a small reception with our consulate generals from a handful of our Arab delegations, and we invited our Deputy Mayor of Infrastructure and Public Works, Randall Winston, and our Deputy Mayor of International Affairs, Aaron Brumingham, to join us. It was nice, and also the sweets in the back, very delicious. My first time having dates from Qatar, so thank you, Assad, and our delegation for arranging that. Today it is my privilege to join with my fellow commissioners and members of the Public Works and City Families in celebrating National Arab American Heritage Month by recognizing the achievements of several outstanding men and women from the Department of Public Works. It is great that we have these celebrations once again in person and acknowledge these important cultural heritage months. During the month of April, as we celebrated the histories, culture, and contributions of Arab Americans whose ancestors come from 22 Arab nations located from Northern Africa through Western Asia. The people of these nations are ethnically, politically, and religiously diverse, but share common roots. In a historic moment for Arab Americans this year, President Joe Biden issued a proclamation recognizing National Arab American Heritage Month, while 45 states have recognized it through proclamation, resolutions, and/or statements. These are vast numbers of well-known Arab Americans who have made significant impacts in a wide range of fields and industries. Among those are Nobel Peace winner in chemistry and Caltech professor Ahmed Zawahiri, former U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Donna Shalala, Academy Award-winning actor Rami Malek, and Today's Show co-host Hoda Kotb. The United States is home to more than 3.5 million Arab Americans, with more than 300,000 in California, more than any other state, with a majority of those living in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. As the most diverse city in the nation, Los Angeles has become a safe haven for all. It is a place where we celebrate our commonalities, but also our differences, and believe that diversity is an advantage. Here at the Department of Public Works, we draw strength from the diversity of our workforce and take pride in our employees' commitment to inclusivity. The men and women we acknowledge today are among more than 6,000 hardworking and dedicated public works employees who deliver vital services daily to make our neighborhoods safer, cleaner, and more livable for millions of Angelenos. Today, the board is honored to recognize a few of the outstanding men and women for their invaluable contributions to the Department of Public Works. So now I'd like to invite President Pro Tem Mike Davis to introduce our first honoree.
Thank you so very much, Fahid, and I want to thank you for coordinating this outstanding contribution to the environment in Los Angeles. As you know, our mayor, Karen Bass, who is the first woman to chair the great city of Los Angeles in all of its history, is a strong advocate for diversity in the many leadership positions that she has held, from the first woman African American to be chair of the California State Assembly, to her leadership in the United States House of Representatives, even to now. And she joins the values of the city of Los Angeles, as has been stated by your speaker earlier, where we acknowledge the various cultures in the city. We are the most diverse city in the United States of America. And so it is, as the chair of the Diversity and Equity Committee for the Board of Public Works, my honor to welcome you, and certainly encourage that we do as well take your recommendation to make sure that this is a regular routine activity on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. Finally, I will say that the Arab American experience is one that is as diverse as any other cultural experience in this country. You are diverse in terms of faith, race, gender, and ability. And again, it's an honor to participate in this program. Today, I have been asked to present the Bureau of Contract Administration honoree, Samir Hassan. Samir Hassan is a construction inspector with the Bureau of Contract Administration. He is a Brazilian Palestinian, and his family comes from Ramallah and Jerusalem. He joined the Bureau in 2018 and completed the Assistant Inspector Program in 2021. He's worked citywide performing all types of inspections, from private development to capital improvement projects. He is currently assigned to the $52 million Wilmington Waterfront Promenade project. Samir approaches his work with the enthusiasm and insight typically possessed by senior inspectors. Samir is among the best and the brightest of the generation of public works leaders. While working full-time, he has continued to learn and grow through education, as he earned a master's degree in public administration from California State University, Fulton, and is working to obtain special inspector certifications to further expand his knowledge of construction quality assurance. The Bureau of Contract Administration is delighted and proud to have Samir be recognized today. He exemplifies leadership, humility, and love for his work. He is among the best and brightest for the next generation of Bureau of Contract Administration's inspectors. Congratulations, Samir.
Apologies. Let me read this, the first one into the record. A certificate of recognition from the Board of Public Works to our honoree, Samir Hussein, Construction Inspector of the Bureau of Contract Administration. And it reads, in celebration of the Arab American Heritage Month, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, the Board of Public Works recognizes your exemplary commitment and outstanding dedication to helping the residents of Los Angeles. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You go first.
President Garcia, Brett McReynolds, Bureau of Contract Administration. I have the privilege of introducing Samir, and I just want to say a few quick things here. Honorable Commissioners, colleagues, Angelinos, it's my pleasure to be here today to introduce Samir, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of the things that we know about Samir. And Samir brings to us a work ethic and a faith and a strength. He's a devoted husband and a father, and when he came to us in 2018, he hit the ground running. He brings with him this strength and kind of passion that comes with his commitment to everything that he holds true. We're all familiar with the term Salam Alaikum, and Samir is kind of the embodiment of that term, and of strength and faith and peace and commitment. And it's really an honor to be here today to say. And I want to also say thanks to Assad, wherever he disappeared to. He has the $1 Million Smile. Can we give him an award for the best smile in the Department of, yeah, absolutely. And with that, I'll introduce Samir.
All right, thank you, President. I'm extremely honored to be standing before you today as we celebrate Arab American Heritage Month. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Public Works Department and the Bureau of Contract Administration for this recognition, and all for the hard work they make our community a better place. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to work alongside with Mr. Reamer, with Brad McReynolds, and the rest of BCA management. Thank you for being here today. I'm humbled to receive this recognition, not just for myself, but for the countless Arab Americans who have tirelessly worked to build a better future for themselves and their families. This honor is a testament to the strength and resilience of our community and a reminder of the important role the Arab American play in our city. Once again, thank you, Commissioners, thank you, Vice President, thank you, President, for this honor and ongoing commitment to serving our community. And I'm deeply grateful, and I look forward to working together to build a better future. Thank you.
Samir, congratulations for your very well-deserved award and your upcoming work with handling and really overseeing the 52 million waterfront project. It's huge. Thank you for for what you do, Samir. Congratulations. Do you want to say something to Samir? Yes. Go ahead, Vice President Villegas. Oh, not yet. Okay. Moving on to the next honoree.
Thank you. Yes, I will present for the Bureau of Engineering, and it's my privilege and honor to present our honoree, Mr. Assam Amaragi, and he is a principal engineer for civil engineering and the division manager of the GIS and mapping division with the Bureau of Engineering. He has worked for the city and for the Department of Public Works for 31 years, testament to his dedication. He started in 1992 with the Bureau of Sanitation and then moved over to engineering in 1994 as a structural engineer associate. Assam has long proven track record in spearheading and innovating web-based applications as solutions for efficient city services. In June 1999, he developed one of the first online applications that enabled customers to apply for utility permits online. At that time, online services were a new concept, but the Bureau and the city's support, the application launched and 10,000 permits were received and issued. His well-deserved promotion to his current role as Division Manager of GIS and Mapping have given him a way to combine his love for the application programming, civil engineering, and enhancing the customer service for city residents. He is also now managing a Build LA project, which is a one-stop for city constituents and developers to track the status of their services and projects online. I can attest that that is a beneficial use for all. His work has earned him Outstanding New Engineer by the Institute of Advancement in Engineering, and also earning the Rory M. Shaw Outstanding Employee Award in 2007. Assam immigrated to the United States from Egypt in 1990. His then fiancée, Ms. Heba, joined him to the United States, where they later wed. He is father to 3 children: Sarah, a software engineer at Google; Ahmed, who recently started working at the Bureau of Engineering as a civil engineer associate; and Omar, who's joining him today, a senior at iPoly High School in Pomona. It is truly a privilege and an honor to recognize Mr. Assam Aragi. Thank you.
Good morning, Board of Public Works, City Engineer, and, City Attorney, and Bureau representatives. I do want to thank you guys for appreciating Arab American Month and the opportunity to talk about Essam and recognize all of his achievements. That was a really great description of what he's done, and it did capture a lot of the history that he's brought to the Bureau. It doesn't describe how amazing he is to work with and his dedication. Honestly, I've never met a more hardworking person that I'm really happy to call a colleague and friend. He is a pioneer for both the Bureau and the city. A lot of what he's developed, especially in web-based applications, are touching thousands and thousands of people because they are interfacing with all of our public and constituents that we're here to serve. And he's done a really great job of tying in everything that we're trying to do to provide services to the city. He is a leader and has a great vision, but also has the attention to detail to carry it out. So the fact that he has these opportunities to be able to lead, but has the actual delivery of it, is really a benefit to the city as a whole. With his over 31 years of service with the city of Los Angeles, we really want to thank him for everything he's done. And like you said, his wife Heba is here, and his son Omar, and I believe we have his daughter Sarah and Ahmed on the Zoom joining us as well. So we just want to appreciate and thank you for letting us appreciate Essam and Ted Allen.
I know it's a little unusual to have 2 introductories. Good morning, President Garcia and Board of Public Works, Ted Allen, City Engineer. For Essam, we were fighting over who was going to get to talk, and so we'll keep it brief because I know everyone's time is valuable, but it's very personal. Essam, you know, we worked together in the structural division going back to 1995. We both had a love of programming. He's much better at it, took it much further, but he's done so much for the city. You know, we have a lot of great employees. We have some that go really above and beyond, and even among those, Essam stands out. And you probably, if we put dollars to the efficiency and the savings that he's done for city residents, it would be a very large number, much more than his salary he's made over his career, I'm sure. You know, pretty much every web application that we have, permitting related, he's either personally programmed or in more recent years supervised. And now we're replacing that first generation with another generation. He's leading it. He's leading Build LA, the affordable housing tracking system under Mayor Bass's Executive Directive 1. He implemented in what, it was like a month's time or something to help track the 100% affordable housing projects. So it just really, I had to be here personally with the budget. I wasn't sure if I'd for sure be able to show, so we had Crystal as well. But I'm very happy to introduce Issam and very happy to recognize him today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So good morning, President Garcia and the honorable commissioners and everybody who joined us today to celebrate this great occasion of the National Arab American Heritage Month. I'm really honored today to be acknowledged by the city as an employee and as a member of the Arab American community. I've been with the city for 30 plus years and I really enjoyed every minute of it. I always felt like the city and the Bureau of Engineering are one of the most diverse and inclusive environments that anyone can have, really. And I was very happy to work for the Bureau and for the city. I always considered the city as, and my colleagues as my second family, really. In the next couple of years, I'm hoping to, or looking forward to continue to work with my colleagues in all city departments to bring all this information within the Build LA and help our constituents and developers, to monitor and track their projects in the best way we can provide to them, So that's one of my goals for the next couple of years before I retire. Last but not least, I would like to thank my wife who really stood next to me in the last 30 plus years, and my son and my two sons and my daughter. And I'd like also to thank the Bureau of Engineering Management who nominated me for this acknowledgement, really. I would like also to thank all my colleagues who work with me all the time, and I couldn't do any of that without, the support of all my colleagues and co-workers within the city. And again, I'm thankful for the board and the city to acknowledge that day, and we celebrate that, diversity and inclusivity within the city. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Issam. You are definitely an impressive person, and it's always a joy to have you whenever you give any of our briefings, by the way. Next, we'll have Teresa.
Yeah, I will continue. We have our one of our commissioners that's out today on city business, and she is the liaison to the Bureau of Sanitation, but I will step in for her. It is my pleasure to recognize Ms. Murray Amari with LA Sanitation and the Environment. She works as a management analyst in the Financial Management Division. Murray joined the Financial Management Division in LA Sanitation as a management assistant working in the Residential Sewer Service Charge Group. That sounds like a mouthful. But I know it's extremely important. Her responsibilities were to review and make determination on customers' request for sewer bill adjustments. She had the record of being the top producer in the group. LA San received numerous calls of appreciation from the City of LA ratepayers, thanking Murray for her kindness and dedication in assisting them. Murray was later promoted to management analyst with FMD. With the vacancy of a senior management analyst 1, she stepped up and became an acting group leader overseeing more than 10 staff members. She now works in the FMD budget group to gain a more well-rounded experience. On top of her heavy workload, Ms. Murray also is assigned to work with the city attorney on a major litigation case because of her ability to organize, coordinate, and respond well for the quick turnaround required by the lawsuit. Murray, we congratulate you on being honored for the important and detailed work that you have done and will continue to do for LA Sanitation, for the city, and for our constituents. A huge congratulations.
Thank you, President Garcia. honorable members of the board, distinguished colleagues and guests. On behalf of sanitation, Marie started her career with the city in 2008 as a management assistant in LA San at the Financial Management Division. She worked in her residential sewer service charge group where her responsibilities were to review the appeals of the residents of the sewer service charges and make determination to see if the residents are eligible for refund based on the Los Angeles Municipal Codes and the Board of Public Works rules and regulations. Marie brought with her the freshness, the willingness to learn, the quick adjustment to the new group, the ability to analyze and make a judgment, and most of all, the can-do attitude. During the 4 years with the Sewer Adjustment Group, she made great impact on the operation of the group. She is one of the top staff in finishing up the adjustment cases. Marie has exceptional customer service skills, and she received many appreciations and commendations from customers whom she assisted. Marie has promoted within the section to be a management analyst. She then later transferred to our budget section at FMD to gain experience in various areas. Marie is well loved and respected by those who she has been working with. Here are several thoughts from our staff. Marie is a pleasure to work with. Despite having a heavy workload, Marie is always willing to listen to her coworkers' problems and offer advice. Marie's lively personality and positive attitude make everyone's day a little brighter. What I admire about Marie is her leadership and work ethic. She has always been so supportive and easy to work with as well. Marie has proven to be extremely capable of working in many diverse areas in finance, now utilizing her skills to prepare and analyze LA Sanitation's budget reports. Marie has always been a valuable member of our team as a coworker, a supervisor, and as a mentor to new employees. She displays an exceptional work ethic and is always willing to help out no matter how much else she has on her plate. She brings insightful ideas and perspective to meetings and projects, and it is always a pleasure to work with her. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Charles, for the kind words. Good morning, Madam President, honorable members of the board. It's an honor to be here today, and I humbly accept and thank the Board of Public Works for this prestigious award. A huge thank you to the exec team and for Eva Sung for the nomination, and thank you to Debbie and everyone else at LA San for all the encouragement they've given me over the years. All the leadership and guidance offered by everyone I met there is appreciated, and the inspiration to always strive to be the best has helped me in learning as much as I can in the past 4 years. Most of all, I would like to thank my parents who could not be here today, but it's thanks to their sacrifices and encouragement that my brothers and I are where we are today. It's an honor to be able to celebrate my heritage, and as an Arab American woman, it is a privilege to stand here and thank everyone who helped pave the road for me to get here to where I am. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Marie. You're an exemplary person to be around with. Thank you. Vahid? Commissioner Corson?
Apologies, and the sequence of certificates had street services next. So apologies on that. I am the lead commissioner to the Bureau of Streetlights, so it is my privilege to introduce our Bureau of Streetlight honoree, and that individual is Raid Abul Hon. I think I may have mispronounced that, and I apologize. Raid began his city career in September 1999 and is currently a street lighting engineer associate 4 in the Bureau of Street Lighting. He's been a valued member of the street lighting team and has been an invaluable piece in the Bureau's goal to serve the residents of our city. As a registered professional civil engineer, his tasks have covered a wide range of essential functions, not the least being the safety of our constituents and durability and sustainability of our infrastructure by providing his engineering expertise in the design of foundations, streetlight poles, and much more. Raid has also shown a willingness to go beyond the call of duty. This was on full display during the LA Lights The Way competition. Without hesitation, he took on the challenge and completed the structural design and analysis, coordinating his efforts with architects, designers, engineers, and manufacturers. This is only one example among many where Raid has stepped up and answered the call to serve the city and its residents. It's because of these qualities that we are happy to recognize you, Raid, and on behalf of the City and Public Works, say a big thank you for the outstanding work and service that you provide each and every day.
Thank you so much. President Garcia, board members, and everybody who's actually here, including his family, which I'm pretty sure he's more than honored, and I am as well. First time meeting his wife and his son. It's actually a beautiful family, and also friends and colleagues that are here. And I appreciate them being here because I do want to say that Raed Abuhosen has been an extremely and essential part of the Bureau of Street Lighting, not just in the engineering aspect of it. As an engineer, he's worked actually under my group, co-location group. We're establishing a whole 5G, 4G network throughout the city to make things so much better, both in communication, highlighting Wi-Fi and everything within the city. And Raed has been an essential component on that. People don't see sometimes the dirty work, right? And Raed Abuhosen is the guy who actually does the dirty work. He goes out there, he goes to the field, he gets things done. His calculations on, sometimes I've given him tasks that seem not just challenging, but sometimes impossible. And I'm like, Raed, we need to do this. And he comes through. He always comes through, never says no. And I think part of the reason he never says no is he's always saying yes to the constituents and the residents of the city of Los Angeles. He's more than just a colleague now. He's almost like a friend to me, right? I can always count on him to come in and really help us out when we're in a bind. So, Raed, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done all these years. You've helped us out. You've really given us the background knowledge that we didn't know we needed, right? In structural engineering, in your civil work, to really push things forward and get things moving. It's really an honor and a privilege for us to actually recognize you in this moment. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to thank the board members and the vice president, the president, deputy mayor, and the commissioner for this outstanding award. This is the first time actually I was recognized in the Board of Public Works. I have been recognized several times within the Bureau, but this is the first time, and I'm so honored to work for the Bureau of Street Lighting. I'm so honored to have this award. Thank you.
Thank you.
Raed, congratulations, and to your family as well. Thank you for being here and supporting your family member. It's always an honor to have the support from the family because it lets our employees thrive here. So thank you so much for supporting him, loving him, and making sure that he's happy every day so that he can provide the city 100% of his abilities. But congratulations, Raed. You definitely deserve this. And so now it is my honor to introduce the honoree for Bureau of Street Services. Our honoree is Aregi Amari. Aregi Amari, if you want to come up, you're welcome. He is a Civil Engineering Associate 2, Streets LA Bureau of Street Services. It is my pleasure to recognize Aregi Amar, Civil Engineer Associate 2 in the Engineering Services Division. Oh, stop. I have been stopped. Got it. Apologies, technical situation. I had the wrong spelling on the wrong name. Now we got it all sorted out. Okay, let me start this one more time. Congratulations to Civil Engineer Associate 2, Aregi Alamar Amajar. Am I saying it right? I'm not saying it right. But you're very beautiful, and I just want to make sure I say it the right way. Asad Amajar? Okay, got it. Amajar. Aray Amajar. Thank you. Sorry, I had the wrong name on my script, but now I don't. It is a pleasure to recognize Aray Amajar, Civil Engineering Associate 2 in the Engineering Service Division of Streets LA. Aray started with the city in 2018 as a Civil Engineering Associate 1 as part of the Bureau of Engineering Permit Case Management Division that serves as an escalation point for projects that require additional problem-solving meetings with various agencies. As part of the Streets LA Engineering Service Division team, she worked on reviewing major transit design-build programs developed by the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, 28 and other miscellaneous projects leading up to the Olympics. Currently, Aray is working with storm drainage program to investigate and design projects that are requested by city council offices as well as the public through My LA 311 to resolve or eliminate street-related problems caused by streets, issues, or slope. Her professional approach in dealing with constituents inquiries is providing prompt response to both council offices and residents to successfully resolve multiple issues daily. Outside of work, Aray is very active within the community to assist with multiple social and cultural events to promote the young generations to pursue leadership roles. That is so wonderful. You are doing that, and the impact will go a long way. Thank you and congratulations on your recognition today. Sorry. And we have Mr. Al here. Ali, good morning, good afternoon, or good morning.
Yes, good morning, Madam President, fellow commissioners. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Al Bazi. I'm representing Streets LA today and recognizing our employee Arij. I'd like to start off by congratulating all of the nominees today, including our own Streets LA civil engineer, Arij. I've known Arij for approximately 4 years. I think we started around the same time, 2019, at Streets LA. Arij currently works in a team that manages the safety-related drainage program as well as the safety-related guardrail program. Safety, that's what she does every single day. She's the Bureau's face, meeting with constituents, addressing concerns, requests from the council districts, My 311 requests, Mayor's office, yourselves, commissioners. We get these requests. It's Arij's team that handles all that. And with her calm demeanor, with her extreme professionalism, I trust her being that person on the field every day. She's our face dealing with these constituents. And she brings solutions to all the issues, to all the problems, to all the safety concerns on the streets. That's what she does for us every single day. For that, Arij, I thank you. And it's every supervisor's goal, right, to create an environment that's conducive to teamwork and employees being happy and productivity. We all talk about that, right? Well, she's an example of that. She's a true example. She's a true joy to have in the office with her smile. I think she got that from Assad, probably. I don't know. So congratulations, Arij, on your recognition today. And I know it's one of your goals. You mentioned that on your write-up, that you would really like to obtain your PE. So I really encourage you. I'm always there to support you on that. And you have all the qualities to become an effective supervisor. So I really hope you achieve that, Arish. You have a very bright future ahead of you. So now that I put some pressure on you, please, like, some words from you.
Good morning, Madam President, Commissioners, Department Heads, and colleagues. It's a great honor to be accepting this recognition today on behalf of all hardworking Arab Americans making contributions to the community, especially in the City Hall and in Los Angeles. Thank you for all your kind words and support. Being here reminds me of the beauty of being an Angelino. It's such a privilege to belong to a community that celebrates diversity and holds a great appreciation to the contribution made by individuals from all backgrounds. We all work hand by hand to serve our community, building an environment founded upon mutual respect and admiration today and in the future. Thank you all again, especially Streets LA management and my colleagues for honoring me today. And also I like to thank my husband, Assad, for supporting me always and believing in me, and my parents and my 2 daughters. Thank you again.
Congratulations once again. You were very well deserving of this honor and many more. Just by your spirit says a lot. So thank you very much for being also a leader to young Arab Americans here, and so that they can find their way also. Thank you for that. I'm going to pass this over to some of my commissioners, see if they want to say some parting words, and then we'll close with some closing remarks on behalf of today's celebration. And please, I just want to tell everybody that, just look around this room right now, and there's a fabric of diversity here. I'm just throughout the whole presentation, I've been thinking of how we are all in this chamber, but it's not just this chamber, it's just really the way the city looks like now. We are a diverse of cultures, nationalities, and just everything all around, and it could only happen here in the city of LA. So I'm very proud to serve for the city, knowing that we have this in our background. But I'm gonna turn this over to Vice President Villegas and Dr. Davis, and then we'll close up today's presentation.
Thank you, and I won't belabor this either. I just wanted to say a few words to congratulate all 5 honorees for today. Thank you for the council. It's also for joining us this morning, and what a special tribute. I know everyone's really busy, so it really matters for us to be able to at least take a pause and recognize our Arab American, brothers and sisters. We have more in common than we do differences. And as I was mentioning earlier today, the jobs that we all do, we really like what we do. I don't even consider it a job because I feel that my value system is right aligned with what I do professionally. And hearing your backgrounds, you're in the same path as well. It's not a job, it's because we really like the work that we're doing. Congratulations to all.
I too, once again, would like to congratulate each of the honorees, their families, and all of those of you who represent the Arab American experience here in the great city of Los Angeles. I think one of the most dynamic things about the heritage of individuals who make up the city of Los Angeles is the areas from which they come. And when we think about the areas from which Arab Americans come, those who happen to be Syrian, Lebanese, Egyptians, Palestinians, Iraqis, Jordanians, and Yemenites from North Africa, and all the way to Southwest Asia, says something very clearly about the value you bring to the dynamic multicultural city that is Los Angeles, and how who you are really helps us to be who we are. We are the most diverse city in the United States of America, and that's only because you come to this city, you participate in this city, and you contribute to this city, and you make us who we are. Thank you so very much, and we look forward to future communications and recognitions of Arab American Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Commissioner Corson?
Thank you. I like that I have two microphones, so I feel like a performer. I want to acknowledge the board for these recognitions and celebrations. I think it's important as someone with a non-traditional name. This month, when we do Arab Heritage Month, for me is a little bit more special, and I shared this story last year of coming to the United States in the 80s, the experiences of what it was like during two wars in the Gulf, and the level of verbal abuse as a child that I was the target of, and I'm sure many in this room had felt that too. And our shared values, as Vice President Villegas said, is very true. To make friends with people from Arab countries and just sharing that bond and understanding from an early age, we're all very much the same. Our cultures, though a little bit varying here and there, we are all, whether we're Arab, Iranian, Mexican, Asian, African American, we're all pretty much, we have the same values within ourselves, with maybe just different caricatures in our names and our appearances. And I've appreciated that so much the last 13 months on this board, of the different recognitions, in hearing how similar we all are. And I've come to appreciate focusing on the positives rather than the negatives, and realizing how wonderful it is that in a city that is so big, with so many people and so many employees, in a city of the size of Los Angeles, and the board and the bureaus themselves, we're all striving for the same common goals, whether they're personal or professional, or our goals to deliver services for stakeholders in the city. And to see a rainbow of faces, of backgrounds, all meshed together and just be driven towards one goal is what I've come to appreciate out of all of these recognition months. And they're very wonderful to head into, especially on a Wednesday, to look forward to, and then to carry that forward into the Thursday, the Friday, and the weekend. So thank you to everyone for your contributions, for our bureaus who took the time to find an honoree to recognize this month, and our board leadership who allows the space and encourages these recognitions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. It is an honor to really celebrate Arab Heritage Month. So thank you, Assad, again, for your leadership in today. And not only today, but every year and every day you come with your very energetic spirit that really makes us value the contributions that Arab Americans bring. So thank you for being a role model and a leader in this with us here at the bureaus. Thank you so much, Assad. I also want to thank all the consulates. Yes, he does deserve a well applause. Thank you so much. I also want to thank all the consulates that joined us today. It is an honor to have you here in our chambers. We normally do not have consulates visiting us, but it is an honor when you can celebrate the accolades and the accomplishments that Arab Americans have brought to the city. They are part of your world, but they're also part of ours here. So thank you so much to all the consulates that made it to City Hall today. It is an honor to have you all here. On behalf of all of our fellow commissioners here at the Public Works, we are very proud to support and acknowledge all of our honorees today and every day to all Arab Americans. There's a lot to be proud of. Arab Americans have really rise to many leadership positions, not only here in the city, but also in other areas. For example, Adel Hash-Khalil, who is now the Metropolitan Water Division, I know Metropolitan Water District Executive Director. That's a very high position for not only here in the city, but the state. So I feel proud because there's a lot of contributions that Arab Americans have now contributed, not just here, but just statewide, citywide, and really nationwide. So please, continue to recognize the work that all of Arab Americans continue to do. And like Ms. Reggie has done and continues to do is to teach other young Arab Americans to follow in these footsteps. Recognize the leadership because it's out there and you do have a lot of it. I also want to just attribute a little bit of the commonness that we all have. We all share the love of our family and that pursuit to thrive and bring our families forward and to live a better life. And that's why a lot of you or your family members made the way here to open that for you, your families, not only here, but the ones that you have back home as well. So with that, I just want to say that here at City Hall, we are led by a mayor who has been a lifelong champion of equity and diversity. And like I said earlier, just looking around in this room right now, it is a complete reflection of what the city of LA is. We are 4 million strong residents. We are the second largest city in the nation, and this department is the second largest department of the city. So not only are you working at a very high level, but you are also working for a very high level city. And so I just want to say to all of the Arab Americans that are celebrated today, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your very beautiful energy and spirit that you bring. And also just thank you for your professionalism because that is what makes the city really work. So with that, I say thank you to all. Have a great rest of the day as we close today's ceremony. And we look forward to celebrating Arab American Heritage Month every year from now on. Thank you, everyone.
President Garcia, one of the things I wanted to say to our embassy and the representatives from the embassies, it would be a great idea to have an exchange program where members of the city of Los Angeles can talk to members of urban areas in some of the Arab American areas in terms of exchange about public service and service delivery in both of the areas and how that exchange will help to further enhance the relationship that not only the United States has, but in particular the city of Los Angeles has, with very similar cities in public service throughout this world. And I think that these exchange programs are the kind of programs that make a difference, again, at the end of the day, in enhancing relationships. So for those of you who are from the embassy, it's certainly heartwarming to see you here. And I hope that we might be able to develop a relationship of exchange between both public servants in Los Angeles and perhaps some of the areas that you represent. So again, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. We're going to take 5 minutes to take pictures. We'll take them in the back because it's a large group. And so for those joining us via virtual platform, we'll be right back. Those of you that are waiting for your items to be called, hang out for a little bit, but we're going to take a few pictures with all of our honorees in the back. Thank you.
don't know if they're going to be.
And once again, we are in record mode. The time is 11:24 a.m.
We're good to go now?
I'm sorry?
Are we good to go?
We are good, and we are back
Okay.
in record mode. President
Okay,
Garcia.
and we have quorum?
We do. To reestablish quorum, President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corson are in the room. We're joined by City Attorney Rep. Mr. Jordan, and Vice President Villegas is on her way into the room.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll kick it off. Thank you, everyone, for being part of our Arab American Heritage Month presentation. Like always, it's always an honor to celebrate the good work that our employees demonstrate every year. So nevertheless, it's always really important to just take some time to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions made. So with that, moving us on to agenda item number 1. This is bids received at 10 a.m. for the following public works projects. Central Los Angeles Recycling Transfer Station Improvements, work order S31P for an estimated amount of $6,549,998 in Council District 14. Bid number 2, Class 3 remedial slope mitigation at Sunset Boulevard, Coronado Terrace to Waterloo Street Phase 2, work order E1907917 for an estimated amount of $1,940,148 in Council District 13. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, TJ Knight.
Very good, and we will begin with our first bid for the Central Los Angeles Recycling and Transfer Station improvements. And the first bid and only bid that we have for this project is from Green Building Corporation. Green Building Corporation's total bid amount is $7,485,671. $7,485,671 from Green Building Corporation. And that concludes the bid opening for the first project, Central Los Angeles Recycling and Transfer Station improvements. Now we'll move on to our second bid opening for the Class 3 remedial slope migration at Sunset Boulevard, Coronado Terrace to Waterloo Street Phase 2. And we have 3 bids for this project. And beginning with Simgel Co. Incorporated. Simgel Company's total bid amount is $2,218,000. $2,218,000. And our second bid for this project is from HZS Engineering, DBA HZS Construction. HZS Engineering's total bid amount is $2,076,734. 2076734. And our third and final bid for this project is from Jill Kevy Construction. Jill Kevy Construction's total bid amount is $2,117,684. 2117684. And that concludes the bid opening for this morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Castellanos.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Castellanos, for opening the both bids on that. Colleagues, is there a motion on the table to adopt item number 1?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Second. Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to adopt item number 1.
Very good, and we'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
With Davis, aye, and Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you for everybody that was waiting for the bids. They are now officially adopted. Moving on to item 2, however, I'm going to take Mr. Flamenco. Are you here? Yes, you are. Good morning, sir. Welcome. I'm going to take items 2 to 12 together. Would that be okay, Mr. Flamenco?
Absolutely.
Okay. And before I turn it over to that, I just want to double check, do we have any public comment for items 2 through 12?
And if there's anyone joining via the virtual platform who wishes to offer commentary, please press *9 to raise your hand. And there is no one who is raising their hand at this time.
Okay. Public comment for items 2 through 12 is now officially closed. Mr. Flamenco, I'm just going to read, I guess, 2 to 3, the top parts, and then you do the rest of it. Item number 2, assessment hearing 1, Tujunga Avenue and Calvert Street in Council District 2. Item number 3, Council District 3, assessment hearing 2, Donna Avenue and Ventura Boulevard. Item number 4, assessment hearing 3 in Council District 6, Kid Ridge Street and Tobias Avenue. Item number 5 in Council District 5, assessment hearing 4, Suffolk Drive and Deep Canyon Drive. Item number 6, Council District 3, assessment hearing 5, Oxnard Street and Canoga Avenue. Item number 7, assessment hearing 6 in Council District 4, Camaro Avenue and Hillhurst Avenue. Item number 8 in Council District 12, assessment hearing 7, hearing Griffith Park Boulevard and Landa Street. Item number 9, Council District 9, assessment hearing 8, McKinley Avenue and 87th Street. Item number 10 in Council District 13, assessment hearing 9, Maltman Avenue and Descanso Drive. Item number 11 in Council District 10, assessment hearing 10, 8th Street and Serrano Avenue. And item number 12 in Council District 3, DeSoto Avenue and Irwin Street. And with that, I turn it over to you, Mr. Flamenco.
Good afternoon, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 2 through 8, plus items 10 through 12 pertain to lighting districts which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Item 9 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with a Bureau of Engineering initiated street improvement project. Ballots for items 2 through 12 were mailed on March 22nd, 2023. Ballots for items 2 to 12 must be received by the City Clerk's office by next Tuesday, May 9th. We have not received any objections to date on items 2 through 12. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 2 through 12 forthwith to City Council.
Thank you so much, Mr. Flamenco, for that. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none, any objections? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to move items 2 through 12 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second?
Second.
I think I heard Corson and Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis and Commissioner Corson to approve items 2 through 12.
Very good, and we'll take a roll call vote on items 2 through 12, starting with you, Madam Vice President.
Aye.
Madam President, sorry.
It's okay. Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
All ayes, and items 2 through 12 are approved forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Moving on to item number 3, this is in 13, I'm sorry, this is in Council District 13. A budget increase in change order number 11, JR Pipeline Company, Inc., North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 14, Marsh Street to Forney Street project. And before we, Ms. Gardner, before we get there, I just want to make sure we do not have any public comment. TJ Knight, do we have any public comment for item number 13?
And for item number 13, if there's anyone on the virtual platform who wishes to offer commentary, please press *9 to raise your hand at this time. And seeing no one, there are no public comments.
Public comment for item number 13 is now officially closed. I'll just read it into the record and then I'm turning it over to you. Recommending the board to authorize $300,000 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $18,517,500 for the North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 14, Marsh Street to Forney Street project, and 2, authorize the city engineer to issue change order number 11 for a not-to-exceed amount of $300,000 for the project to upsize existing drop maintenance holes. So welcome and tell me what you are doing.
Good morning. My name is Bené Gardner, and I'm from the Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division. These items before you are to request for additional contingency and to issue change order number 11 for a not-to-exceed amount of $300,000 for the North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation Unit 14 project to upsize existing maintenance holes. The project is located in the Elysian Valley area. In particular, the project runs along Blake Avenue between Marsh Street and Forney Street. As to scope, the project will rehabilitate approximately 4,675 linear feet of existing 48-inch semi-elliptical clay tile-lined concrete pipe that has passed its service life, as well as rehabilitating existing maintenance holes. Change order number 11 is being issued to address the recently issued interdepartmental correspondence from LA Sand regarding the upsizing of existing maintenance holes along the sewer lines that are being improved. The purpose of upsizing these maintenance hole openings to about 30 inches is to facilitate ongoing and future operation and maintenance. Per the current scope of work, there are 2 existing drop maintenance holes that are to be removed and replaced with 36-inch frame and cover, and there are 12 existing drop maintenance holes that are to be rehabilitated with type 1 liner. However, in order to meet LA Sand's new directive and considering a maximum distance of 1,000 feet between 30-inch frame and cover maintenance holes, out of these existing 12 maintenance holes, only 4 maintenance holes will be upsized to a 30-inch frame and cover. The added scope of the work for change order number 11 includes removal of the existing brickwork up to 6 feet, reconstruction of the maintenance hole, and installation of a new 30-inch frame and cover for the 4 existing drop maintenance holes. It is estimated to be a not-to-exceed amount of $300,000 would be needed for upsizing these 4 existing maintenance holes. Because a considerable amount of work remains to be completed, it is recommended that the original project contingency be preserved for unforeseen conditions and extra work that may be encountered. An additional contingency of $300,000 is therefore being requested to cover the direct costs associated with the scope changes per LA Sand's new directive. In regard to the funding, there is no impact to the general fund. The funding for this change order, once again, is not to exceed of $300,000. And in review of the above information, staff recommends that the board revise the project budget and issue change order number 11. This concludes my report. I can seek to answer any questions that the board may have at this time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Garner. Quick question, is this your first time presenting to the board?
Yes, Madam President.
You did a very good job,
Thank you.
very well.
Thank you.
You weren't nervous at all the checks were there. Thank you so much. All right, well, official questions now. Dr. Davis?
Yes, you mentioned under the request for order number 11, the $300,000 request, that it does not come out of the general fund.
Mm-hmm.
Which fund does those funds come from?
It comes out of our sewer tax. So the taxpayers are assessed sewer tax fees, and that's where it's coming from.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Ms. Garner, you also mentioned that 3 out of the 12 maintenance holes are going to get resized?
There's 4 out of the 12 that's
Okay.
going to be resized.
And why is that?
Well, because typically, for operations and maintenance, in order to do this, we use what is called CCTV, and the cable itself, it's about 1,000 feet that it can reach in between these existing maintenance holes. So instead of doing, every 12 maintenance holes, we can skip those and just do the only 4 so that we have that maximum 1,000-foot distance to provide the CCTV that's needed to assess and to, prevent any future sinkholes that may occur.
Okay, understood. Okay, any other questions, colleagues? Seeing none, any objections? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 13 forward and forthwith? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Vice President Villegas to move item number 13 forward and forthwith.
Very good, and we'll take a roll call vote on item number 13, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved forthwith.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day. You did a great job presenting. Moving on to item number 14. All right, yes, item number 14, and this is in all council district, task order solicitation number 59, McMillan Jacobs Associate Pre-Qualified On-Call Consultants List. And before I go, I just want to make sure we do not have any public comment. TJ Knight, can we check for public comment?
Very good. If there's anyone on the Zoom platform who wishes to offer commentary on item number 14, if you'd please press *9 to raise your hand at this time. And there is no one raising their hand, therefore there is no commentary on item number 14.
Thank you so much for that. Mr. Willis?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Willis Huffman. Let me just read this into the record, and I turn it over to you. Recommending the board to, 1, authorize the city engineer to issue the task to McMillan Jacobs Associate from the pre-qualified on-call wastewater and environmental engineering services consultants list to provide construction management support services for the wastewater conveyance construction division as stated in task order number 59 with a budget authority of $11 million. And with that, Mr. Huffman, it's all yours.
All right. Good morning. Willis Huffman, Bureau of Engineering, Wastewater Conveyance Construction Division. I'm here to present this board report for authorization to issue this task to McMillan Jacobs to provide construction management support services for Wastewater Conveyance Construction Division with a budget authority of not to exceed $11 million. This TOS uses the pre-qualified on-call list to solicit proposals from firms for CM support services. This list was established in 2017 with 24 prime consultant firms. The TOS plans to utilize the services of a consultant to provide CM support for the construction of wastewater conveyance improvements and rehab projects, including pumping plants. The names of the projects and the amount of consultant support will be determined at the time and need at the time of need by issuing individual subtasks. Our previous TOS, TOS 6, had a cost ceiling of $9 million. However, we only used $7.5 million. The amount spent depends on the needs of the division of our workload. That fluctuates from time to time, and so this contract gives us the ability to make those changes and manage our resources on an as-needed basis. Our division maintains about 3 to 5 CM consultants in-house, and then also consultants provide support remotely from their home offices. So the scope of services of this TOS include project management and administration, CM support, structural, mechanical, electrical, instrumentation support, cost estimating, project scheduling, construction claim analysis, constructability reviews, document control, and workflow enhancements. The business inclusion program participation levels were set for the following: 18% for minority business enterprise, 4% women business enterprise, 25% small business enterprise, 8% emerging business enterprise, and 3% disabled veteran business enterprise. So we received 4 proposals from different firms. The first being Atkins North America, second McMillan Jacobs and Associates, third Mars Services, and the fourth from Parsons. So our selection criteria was based on a percentage system. And so 25% was to the value offered to the city based on the interviews and the reviews of the proposals, 20% capability of the consultants, another 20% for technical expertise and experience, 15% PM's experience and availability, 10% ability to coordinate support activities, and then another 10% for the team's knowledge of city facilities, procedures, and practices. There was a committee of 3 individuals that made up the evaluation team. They were all from different divisions within BOE who reviewed and conducted the interviews. It was unanimously decided that McMillan Jacobs was the best firm based on their proposal and their interview. This concludes my presentation. I'm welcome to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Huffman, for that. Any questions, colleagues? Dr. Davis, and then Vice President Villegas.
Yes, I wanted to ask a couple of questions. In terms of the funding for this project, is it a locally funded project, or are there federal funds involved in this project?
This is through our sewer maintenance
So it's a locally
fund.
funded project?
Yes.
Now, in terms of the inclusion,
Mhm.
unfortunately, I did not hear everything you said. You said that it was 8% small businesses that is being pledged. Is that correct?
It was, uh, 8% emerging business enterprise,
Oh, 8% emerging. How much small business is being pledged?
25%.
Oh, 25%. Okay, wonderful. Now, in terms of the companies that competed, you told us the various variables that we evaluated before we came to a conclusion. And you said that Macmillan Jacobs obviously scored higher than the others on each of these. Have we used Macmillan Jacobs before?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And
So they're familiar with the
yes.
city procedures?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Vice President Villegas?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Corson?
Thank you. Two questions. I'll start with the more broader question. On the surface, the tasks that they're going to be working on seem things we can do internally. So what are the challenges that this would need to be outsourced rather than being insourced?
It's mainly resources. So in terms, our objective is to have city employees do this work. However, depending on our workloads, things fluctuate, and as we increase our workload, we need to hire more consultants. And so this contract gives us that flexibility to hire them on an as-needed basis. So it's just pertaining to a particular task or actual project. So as the workflow or work needs decrease, we would then let them go. There's no need to continue them to have them on. So it gives us that flexibility to hire and let go on an as-needed basis.
And then the second question, going back to the funding source, it's only for 2.2 million with future funding unidentified. Would that unidentified funding come from the same sewer fund, or would it come from different sources?
It's the same sewer fund, yes.
Okay, so how does that money get allocated year to year, or is it project to project?
It's basically on an as-needed. So it depends on what we project based on historical data. So for instance, if we were using scheduling support, project support over the last 6 months, and we averaged 500,000 in expenses, we would project that for the next 6 months or even a year. So it's on a 6-month to month basis that we would request the additional funding.
So when would we know, for the other remaining 9.5 or $9.8 million or $8.8 million, when that funding is available for the second year or the third year of the contract?
It's usually at the time of the fiscal year. So we'll reach out to LA Sanitation and let them know that we're requesting additional funding for these services, and that they usually will then tell us if the funding is available at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Vice President Villegas?
Thank you. And just along that vein, I just have a question for our city attorney. This board item is asking us to approve a budget with unidentified future funding of 8.8 million. Have we done something like that in the past? Or should we move forward with just the identified funding for 2.2 million?
I believe we have done approvals in this nature. Obviously, we don't, when the tasks are being, individual tasks and notices to proceed are being given to the consultant, we do not get out ahead of the funding. That's been specifically authorized, but the bureaus work together to, as the projects evolve, to not get out ahead of that authorized funding. So the answer to your question is yes, I believe we have done it in this way before.
All right, and would it be Would it be okay if we move forward with an amendment to this, just to approve the 2.2 that's been identified? Or would something like that slow this work down? Either one.
That would slow this work down. Yeah,
How
this,
so?
in the sense that we would need to, it's better to have the funding available for us because we get projects, and it's hard to kind of project those things. And so, we need to have that flexibility to move forward on a short notice as well. There's emergency contracts that we have within our division, and so we need resources readily available to help assist with that.
Okay. It's $11 million is a big blanket authority. And, I see subcontractors. If you can specify also, is this a PLA that will be activated?
From my understanding, this isn't a PLA.
Is not?
No.
Yeah, staff will correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more on the consulting and sort of project management side of things, not the actual construction. So the PLA projects really go towards the construction labor for the
Correct.
project, not this higher level management type consulting service.
All right, I appreciate that, thank you, and I misread that. Thank you for that clarification. I don't feel comfortable moving forward just on the entire 11 million budget, and if we could bifurcate, that would be my suggestion.
Okay. I see that we have a million, you're asking for a total funding for this project not to exceed 11 million. Funding for the current fiscal year in the amount of $2,200,000 is available in the sewer capital fund. So there's a delta there of almost $8 million, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And that, the 8 million is what that your office is still seeking funds for, right?
Right, and that's just a ceiling. So we just want to have the ability to access those funds in the time of need. And so that would just give us the ability, like I was saying, emergency, we have emergency contracts, and we want to be able to hire consultants rather quickly to be able to assist us when we're faced with those types of emergencies.
Okay. Vice President Villegas, would you like to move forward only with the $2.2 million that is identified?
Yeah, I don't want to, make it difficult for the Bureau. I feel that perhaps a TOS was, and you could correct me if I am wrong, perhaps a TOS wasn't the best mechanism to finance this work. Perhaps it could have been done through a Cisco, because we have ceilings on that, and then we get to at least like measure the work. And so that's where I feel like it's just a little different.
Yeah, Cisco is a construction contract. So this is
Personal services.
construction services. So this is for the hiring of CM support. So this is CM staff, project schedulers, estimators, and so forth. So it's a different vehicle than a Cisco contract.
Got it, okay. All right, and thanks again for that clarification. I'll just remain as is with what I suggested.
Well, just to appease some of the stuff, some of the issues and concerns you have, Vice President Villegas, how much impactful will it be to the project if we have you come back for the $8 million to identify, when you identify a source for the $8 million?
How impactful? We'll have to go through the process of, we've had these talks in the past, and once we get the approval, we just issue task orders against it, a notice to proceed. And so it was just a one-time coming to the board and asking for this approval. And so it's not that we're going to actually use all of it. We just want to have the ability to access it in the time we do need it.
Okay, and where are you looking for this money for?
So it's for our CM support services. So
Correct.
it could be for CM staff.
Maybe said my question. I'm trying to, what measurements are you taking now to identify funding for the $8 million that you do not have a current
Okay,
source
so
yet?
it's based on our previous toss. Our previous toss was for $9 million. This one incorporates the addition in wages for individuals. We've been faced with inflation as of recent, and so the cost of doing business is costlier now. And so we increased that to cover our account for those changes as well.
Okay, so, so where are you, go ahead, Ted.
No, I was just going to, so I'm going through the report, so just so it's clear. The task order being contemplated would, to this firm, would, the duration of the task order would go until the contract expires, which is in 2027. I would assume that, and we could do this, authorize the Bureau to only issue a notice to proceed up to that, or collectively, notice to proceed should not exceed the 2.2 million, because that's the only specific budget appropriation that's been identified. So you could, just to, ensure that we don't get out ahead of the 2.2 million and start getting into that $11 million range, limit any notices to proceed, and the staff will correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how they essentially tell the contractor to start working, up to the 2.2. So if I'm sensing what the issue is, we have an $11 million open-ended task order that will be used from time to time, but only 2.2 million has been identified. So you don't want to get past 2.2 million.
Correct.
So limit the Bureau
Correct.
in issuing any notices to proceed to only the amount that's been currently appropriated, which right now is 2.2 million. Does that make sense? And it's okay if it doesn't.
So we would exceed our authority. I mean, we, based on what the LA Sanitation provides to us, that we understand that's our limit. So we would not exceed that authority.
You wouldn't exceed the 11 million, is that what you're saying?
Even the 2 million.
Even the 2 million.
Yeah, we don't have authorization to go beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah.
President Garcia, if I could interrupt
Yes,
and
please,
make a
Commissioner Carson.
recommendation. So it sounds like the Bureau is making a recommendation on this toss based on a previous toss, and we haven't really delved into what that previous toss was. So out of respect to the work you've done, maybe we can continue this item and get a briefing on what toss 6 was and how that plays out in this one, and then have a board presentation on that. I think if it's based on a previous toss, it'd be helpful to have a better understanding of the previous toss and why we're continuing with it, either with more money or not less money. And I'm sure that had the same funding mechanism. It was well before I joined the board, so I think maybe that's a more educated way of moving forward rather than just making a decision now that I'm not quite sure if it would help or not help our authority.
Understood, and hearing you loud and clear. It's always been my norm to make sure that I hear any commissioner that's asking for a continuance. So is 1 week okay with everyone? Okay, 1 week from now, we'll see you back again, but hang on. And I also, my question to all of this is, I know we have $8 million that you're still seeking funds for. In your briefing in the next week, can you also let me know what measurements or what funds are you kind of probing that will fulfill those 8 million?
Okay.
Okay. So apologies, Mr. Hoffman. We're going to see you again next Wednesday.
No problem. All right.
And this item is now up. We have one more. Ted?
No.
Okay,
just
hang on.
Friendly suggestion, perhaps when the Bureau of Engineering comes back with this, we could have a representative from the Bureau of Sanitation who can help explain to the board the interplay between the Bureau of Sanitation's authorizing the use of the sewer fund and the direction of that into this particular task order. I mean, I guess and to further explain the paragraph called status of funding that describes how those appropriations work, that might help a little bit to show how these task orders work.
Correct. Thank you. So from now into next Wednesday, Mr. Huffman, if you can definitely reach out and brief Commissioner Corson, myself, and any of the commissioners that we want. Actually, you should reach out to all five of us. On my end, I just want to know what measurements and what sources are you looking for? And I know that Commissioner Corson and the Vice President Villegas are seeking to see what task order number 6 was and how that relates to this task order. So perhaps, and Dr. Davis?
Yes, also in terms of when we present a motion that has something very unique in it in terms of a consolidation or a recommendation from a past action from a former motion, let's have more details in the background information in terms of presenting that motion. And in that background information, let us identify very specifically what the details are as to why it is we are presenting a motion with the vision of this extra funds. Because you know that the preference of the board is that you come before us whenever you would need that money, not that you bank it in advance. That's our basic philosophy. So having understood that, when you come to us with an unusual motion that has something from somewhere else, that ought to be first and foremost as you present to us in the background information of the motion that you're about to lay on the table.
Understood.
Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. We will see you again May 10th, 2023, back here again for more further discussions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Item number 14 has now been continued to May 10th, 2023. TJ Knight.
Yes, very good. I've made a note for the journal.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 15. This is a request from the Bureau of Street Services in Council District 4, tree removal at 6300 Block North White Oak Avenue. And just before I turn it over to Mr. Ramirez, good morning, sir. TJ Knight, can we check for public comment?
Yes, very good. I do see a hand raised in our Zoom meeting by participant Silva Blackstone. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and hopefully we can hear you in our hearing room. Go ahead, Silva.
Good morning, Commissioners. Silva Blackstone, retired certified arborist. And I have
Silva, this is the city attorney. We're having a little bit of a technical issue. I am going to try to do a workaround that will allow us to hear your comment. So in a few seconds here, I'm going to ask you to start again, and I will see if I can get your audio broadcast into our room. I can hear you on my Zoom link via my phone. We're just trying to get your voice broadcast into the room. So just bear with us a second, and I will tell you when to start. Ms. Blackstone, go ahead and start.
All right, this is Silva Blackstone, retired certified arborist. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, go ahead. You'll have 2 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you. I have a question about this. First, comment on the use of the term Mexican fan palm when this species is Washingtonia robusta, and the scientific names are the names that are used in the professional community across the world. Washingtonia robusta. So I have a question because in the past, I've been coming before the board for 30 years. And in the past, there was an executive summary for tree removals, and then a complete report was available at the time of the board meeting in person. So to read that the current process is that the documents are seen under the custodianship of the Street Tree Division is not helpful. Okay, so I'd just like to point that out. If they have a report, why can't it be available to the public? And I have a question. Who is doing the work? And what are the replacement trees? What are the species of the replacement trees?
Thank you, Ms.
Is this
Black.
work being done by outside people or city crews? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Blackstone.
Thank you, Ted and TJ Knight, for working around that technical issue. We will make sure that we adhere to make sure that we have it, our technical difficulties fixed for next time. But we were able to listen, and we heard loud and clear Ms. Blackstone's comments. Thank you very much. TJ Knight, do you want to, that's our last caller, right?
That concludes commentary on item number 15.
Great. Public comment for item number 15 is now officially closed. With that, Mr. Ramirez, I don't think I need to go through the number 1, but I am going to just read out item number 3 because it's the actual action for it. So this is a request in Council District 4 for tree removal at 6300 Block North White Oak Avenue. Recommendation number 3 is review and approve the request for a no-fee permit for the removal of 8 Mexican fan palms. Tree replacements are required. And with that, I turn it over to you, Mr. Ramirez, to lead us on today's presentation.
Good afternoon, Honorable Board of Public Works. Again, my name is Brian Ramirez. I'm with Streets LA Urban Forestry Division, and I'm presenting this item. It is, again, a request from the board to approve a no-fee permit to remove 8 Mexican fan palms for Los Angeles River Valley Bikeway and Greenway project from Van Alden Avenue to Balboa Boulevard, and tree replacements are required. It is the Bureau of Engineering that is managing the design and construction of an approximate 3-mile segment of the Los Angeles River Valley Bikeway and Greenway project along the LA River in San Fernando Valley from Van Alden Avenue to the West Balboa Boulevard to the east. The project is part of the LA River Trail System and is consistent with the LA River Revitalization Plan and Sustainable City Plan. The proposed project includes installation of bicycle and pedestrian pathways, landscaping, lighting, retaining walls, construction undercrossings, as well as on-street improvements to increase the access to the LA River Bikeway in this area. The project will also connect to the active transportation network throughout the region and provide new pedestrian and bicycle access, connectivity to transit, residential homes, schools, jobs, parks, and include other community-serving amenities for the surrounding areas. As part of the planned project elements to improve the LA River accessibility, BOE is proposing to modify the roadway along the 6300 block of North White Oak Avenue to allow for the construction of a new bike path and other aesthetic, mobility, and environmental benefits. A Streets LA arborist inspected the subject location on March 10th, 2022 to determine the project's impacts on any existing street trees. The inspection revealed 8 Mexican fan palms, Washingtonia robusta, growing in a center median island. The palm trees they're in fair condition, measuring approximately 18 to 24 inches in diameter by 4 to 20 feet in height, growing in a 5-foot by 40-foot center median island. The 8 Mexican fan palms require removal in order for the project to be constructed as designed. If approved, the 8 palms shall be replaced with native tree species that provide shade in addition to other aesthetic and environmental benefits. As it pertains to the alternatives that Streets LA explored, in order to facilitate the LA River Valley Bikeway and Greenway project as planned, unfortunately, the location, the size, and condition of the 8 Mexican fan palms negate the possibility of tree preservation or location. And again, if this is approved, the Bureau of Engineering contractor shall plant 16 24-inch box-sized trees, which include 8 western redbud, 3 coast live oak, and 5 desert willow trees to meet the board's 2-to-1 tree replacement policy. All replacement trees on site shall be watered for a minimum of 5-year period after planting by BOE contract forces. As it pertains to the notifications and public notification, the 4th Council District Office was informed of the tree removal request on March 21st, 2023. The Council Office was to inform any persons inquiring about the opportunity to be heard by the board at public hearing for the tree removal permit request. And the trees were physically posted with public notification that the tree removals were going to be occurring. The proposed tree removals were also included on the Bureau of Street Services tree removal notification system. And in addition, the Community Forest Advisory Committee and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment were notified of these tree removals. I will touch on the California Environmental Quality Act. The Department of Public Works and Bureau of Engineering, they prepared a mitigated negative declaration for this project, finding that the project will have less than a significant effect on the environment. And this mitigated negative declaration, again, is on file with Streets LA and also within the transmittals that are within the agenda item today. So Streets LA reviewed the project, M&D, and determined that the project M&D properly assessed and addressed the tree removals proposed for this project. This concludes my presentation before the board, and I make myself available for any question that the board may have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramirez, for your presentation. It's always good to see you here on behalf of the trees. Any questions, colleagues? See none. Any objections? Hearing none. Just can you, for the record, just state again what we are replacing these trees with?
Yes, so in order to satisfy, again, the 2-to-1 board policy, the 8 removals will have a total of 16 24-inch box-sized trees. They will be 8 western redbud, 3 coast live oak, and 5 desert willow trees. These were selected, they are native, they're drought tolerant, and they were selected, the species was selected based off of the growth space that was provided along the different segments of this project.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to make sure we got in the record. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramirez, for your presentation. Seeing any, I do not see any questions or objections. Is there a motion on the table to move item number 15 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second? Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by VP Villegas and a second by Dr. Davis to approve item number 15.
Very good, and we will take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
All ayes, and the item is approved forthwith.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and have a good rest of the week, Mr. Ramirez. Moving on to item number 16, this is a request from the Office of Community Beautification in all council districts. Contract extension, various graffiti removal contracts. We have Mr. Raj here from the Office of Community Beautification, and right before I do that, Mr. Raj, I'm just going to check for public comment. TJ Knight, is there any public comment on item number 16?
And thank you, Madam President. For item number 16, if anyone is joining via the virtual platform and you would like to offer commentary, please press *9 to raise your hand at this time. And seeing no one raising their hand, commentary on item number 16 is closed.
Thank you so much, TJ Knight. Public comments now officially closed. Thank you so much for that. And with that, Mr. Raj, it's awfully long recommendations here, so I'm not going to read them into the record because I'm sure you're going to talk about each one of them. There's 13 recommendations here.
That is correct. Good morning. Paul Roch. I'm the director of the Office of Community Beautification. This morning, OCB is requesting that the Board of Public Works request approval from the City Council to extend the terms of service for OCB contracts for graffiti abatement. As you are all aware, OCB contracts with various nonprofit community-based organizations for different community beautification services, including graffiti removal. We released an RFP and received these responses back in 2020. And so these initial contracts will be expiring at the end of June of 2023 for their initial 3-year period. And in order to extend the terms of the contract, we do need approval from LA City Council. Last year, these contractors removed a total of 29.1 million square feet of graffiti throughout the city of Los Angeles. And once again, the current contracts extend through June of 2023. So we are requesting that the Board of Public Works support and request the extension for an additional period of 2 years for the graffiti abatement contracts. OCB recently did release an RFQ for other OCB services, such as public right-of-way cleanup, and we will be coming to the board soon with recommendations regarding those responses. But we do need to keep the graffiti removal services moving forward. We do want to bifurcate the contracts so that the graffiti removal is sort of standalone, and the new contracts will be for all other services. And so once again this morning, we do request that the Board of Public Works submit a formal request to the LA City Council to authorize the extension of the current contracts for an additional 2 years.
Thank you, Mr. Raj, for that. This is definitely, it's also standard procedure that we do this almost every year, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, so the initial contracts were approved by the board for a 3-year period. To go anywhere beyond 3 years, we need LA City Council approval. And so it is standard procedure that at some point with contracts, if we do go beyond that 3-year period, that we would have to go to council for approval of
Okay,
that.
understood. I see Vice President Villegas.
Yeah, thank you. I just have a comment. Thank you for bringing us this item. You know, I just feel that these are important quality of life issues, and it's important for us to, use our contractors and really be active and have, work closely with our 311 calls to really remove graffiti and, help beautify, this communities. And I always say, like, I always get these sayings mixed up, but it's like the broken window theory, or however it is expressed. But I think it's important for us to continue doing everything possible and really push our contractors to live up to what we expect in the city and provide a good quality of life for all of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. I don't see any other questions. Paul, Mr. Raj, on recommendation number 13, we have authorized the Board of Public Works to approve additional amendments to the contract for items other than additional term extensions. What kind of amendments?
Well, my understanding is that once it goes to City Council, that unless they also authorize the board to do any future amendments to the contracts, which could include putting in additional funding, which will be coming for, once the new fiscal year begins, we'll have to come to the board for approval to that. We want to be able to get those types of contract amendments or anything like that so that the board can authorize them without us always having to go to council every time we have a particular amendment to the contract or something like that.
Okay, understood. All right, I don't see any objections, colleagues? Seeing none. Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to approve item number 16? Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. TJ Knight, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Commissioner Corson to approve item number 16.
Very good. And we will take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President,
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
All ayes. And item number 16 is approved forthwith.
Yes, forthwith. I want to make sure that we do that. Thank you so much, Mr. Rock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Moving on to item number 7, this is a request in Council District 1 for an AFE, Southern California Regional Rail Authority, DBA Metrolink. Bureau of Sanitation and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for the expenditure amount in the amount of $119,254.13 for the reimbursement of all reasonable costs incurred in connection with sewer failure, geotechnical remediation plans. They were in 2 different pages, that's why. So good evening, good afternoon, and you are here, Mr. Lopez, right?
That's correct.
Okay, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners, City Attorney, and Board Representatives. My name is Emilio Lopez, and I work with LA Sanitation and Environment Wastewater Engineering Services Division. So today, and I do all the sewer planning with my group for the North Outfall Sewer, which is a critical sewer for LA Sanitation and Environment. So the reason I'm here today is for the Authority for Expenditure to request that we reimburse SCARA, or Southern California Regional Rail Authority, in the amount of $119,254.13 for 2 invoices that they've submitted. So to provide some background, this work was completed in 2019. What LA Sanitation and Environment is doing is aggressively inspecting the North Outfall Sewer and rehabilitating the North Outfall Sewer. So during our routine inspections back in 2019 of February, we had a major rain event that impacted the North Outfall Sewer, or NOS. That major rain impacted the North Outfall Sewer that caused a void over the sewer that measured approximately 6 feet high. That void was directly underneath the Metrolink tracks. It was adjacent to the LA River and next to a DWP transmission line. So we went into full effect doing emergency repair on that void, mobilizing a contractor. We also met with Metrolink. And in the meeting with the Metrolink, we were looking for a solution to stabilize the tracks so we don't have a catastrophic incident with the trains. So during that meeting, SCAR's geotechnical consultant recommended this soil grouting remediation strategy, which injected grout into the soil over the sewer void. To stabilize the tracks, they've also implemented slowing down the trains over the tracks and monitoring the tracks at that stationing, and implemented an emergency procedure in case something did happen. So sanitation agreed to reimburse SCAR for all expenses related to that work with the soil grouting, and we received 2 invoices totaling $119,254.13. So that's the reason why I'm here today, is to request that authority for expenditure. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm open to answer any questions at this moment.
Thank you so much, sir, for that report back. Any questions, colleagues? Seeing none, any objections? And you know, TJ Knight, we did not check for public comment on this one. Can you just double check before we close?
Yes, of course, Madam President. If there is anyone on the Zoom platform who wishes to offer commentary on item number 17, at this time, please press *9 to raise your hand. And seeing no one who is raising their hand, commentary is now closed.
Thank you for that, TJ Knight. I just wanted to double check that we didn't have anybody there. Okay, colleagues, any questions, comments, concerns? Any objections on item number 17? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to approve item number 17?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second? Thank you, VP Villegas. TJ Knight, there's a first by Dr. Davis and a second by Vice President Villegas to move forward item number 17 forthwith too.
Very good. And we'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas. President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 17 is approved forthwith.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Moving on to item number 18, this is a request in Council District 6 for an AFE Conejo Crest Landscape, Inc. This is a request from the Bureau of Sanitation and the Office of Accounting, are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $116,381.12 for landscape maintenance services performed at the Japanese Garden located at Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant from September 10, 2020 through November 20, 2020. And just before I go to you, Mr. Perez, I'm going to check for public comment. TJ Knight?
Very good. Thank you, Madam President. If there's anyone on the Zoom platform who wishes to offer commentary on item number 18, please press *9 to raise your hand at this time. And seeing no one who is raising their hand, commentary on item number 18 is now closed.
Great, thank you very much. And that means you, Mr. Perez, welcome.
Good morning.
Good afternoon now.
Oh, is it? Good afternoon, President Garcia and Commissioners. My name is Eduardo Perez, Assistant Plant Manager for the Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant. I oversee the Japanese Garden as well. A little history here. The LA San operates the Japanese Garden at Donald C. Tillman in Van Nuys. The plant was constructed once an agreement with the Army Corps of Engineers was finalized to include a Japanese garden as a public space. The 6.5-acre garden has highly stylized features and uses 100% recycled water provided by Donald C. Tillman to display and educate the general public through variety cultural events and the importance of water recycling. The Japanese Garden has been maintained through a landscape service contract for more than 30 years. The contract with Conejo Crest Landscape became effective in September of 2013 for a term of 5 years. A 2-year amendment was extended by the Japanese Garden staff to extend the term of the contract to September 9th, 2020. LA San intended to distribute an RFP to establish a new service contract, but parallel to this, a second amendment was pursued to provide services through September of 2022, but due to unforeseen delays, it was determined by LA San staff that the second amendment would not be pursued. The contractor still performed the work as thought was for the second amendment, would cover for the time period. The RFP process would still continue, and the contractor was notified to cease services on November 20th, 2020, having performed 3 months of service. So with that, just a reminder, we were here a couple weeks ago, and we did get board approval to continue to proceed with the new contract. So therefore, LA Sanitation Environment is requesting to cover the maintenance through maintenance and operation funds for the landscape maintenance services performed at the Japanese Garden located at DCT District 6. These services were performed as noted on a letter of agreement from the September 10th, 2020 through November 2020 and 3 separate invoices. There is no impact on the general fund whatsoever. That concludes my report. Any questions from the board?
Thank you, Mr. Perez, for that report. So the contract this is for performance in 2020.
Correct.
The contract that we have now, there was a lapse, right?
A very large lapse, yes. From 2020 to today, we do not have a landscape service contract. We are fortunate to be partnering with other departments to piggyback on their landscape service contracts.
Remember that.
But that's just to know of what has occurred from the time when services from the previous contract came to an end back in 2020.
And so Conejo will not be, they are not the chosen contractor moving forward?
It is puzzling to myself as well. Parkwood is the parent company of Conejo Crest.
Okay.
So the contract that we just presented to board weeks past was awarded to Parkwood, the parent company of Conejo Crest.
Understood. And Conejo Crest is the contractor that has a specialized staff that can perform cultural and adequate landscaping services at the Japanese Garden?
That is correct. There are two major elements, part of the service contract, that is to upkeep the pond or lake at the Japanese garden, as well as acquiring specially trained pruners for the Japanese pines located at the garden.
Exactly. I just wanted to make sure we had that, and I wasn't sure what contractor had that specialized perform work that we need at the Japanese garden, because it's not, it's a very specialized work that needs to happen and to maintain our Japanese cultural plants that we have there. Okay. Okay, and when do they start? Can we get them going now?
So in reference to the new contract, we are, after board approval, we are waiting for the CEO's office to, draft up a report to be presented at council and mayor's signature. Our estimations of when that could occur is fall of this year, but we hope to get it approved so we expected July of this year.
I do too.
Yeah.
Please.
So we'll be working with that office to try to expedite the process.
Okay, let me know how I can be of any help for that.
Thank you.
I don't want our Japanese garden to have any impact or huge impact already. Okay, any questions, colleagues?
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Dr. Davis, go ahead.
The funding is not out of the general fund. Which fund does the money come from for the landscaping?
Yes, the funding is coming from our sewer maintenance and operations funds.
Okay, and then you talked about the lapse of service. Is that because of the COVID situation that we weren't able to continue the services?
Unfortunately, I was not leading the garden at the time, but that's my understanding, is that during COVID, a lot of the services that would have continued from 2020 to present, contracting mechanisms, trying to get contracts, that all came to a halt.
Sure, understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Any objections? Seeing none, is there a motion on the table to move item number 18 forward and forthwith?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson. Is there a second? It's good. Thank you, Dr. Davis. TJ Knight, there's a first by Commissioner Corson and a second by Dr. Davis to move item number 18 forward and forthwith.
Very good. And we'll take a roll call vote, starting with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Corson.
Aye.
All ayes. Item 18 is approved forthwith.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that seems to be the end of our voting items. Have we cleared today's desk, Mr. TJ Knight?
Yes, we have, Madam President.
Great. With that said, it's May 3rd. It is now 12:31, and this meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day.